Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Ascension Playground. This is Ursie. I am so excited to tell you that I am learning now as a quantum soul guidance certified practitioner. It's remarkable. And for me, the beautiful trade in energy is to be able to research and learn and grow as I get to meet you. Anyone who's interested in being a client to get a quantum soul reading, it's fascinating. The energies are remarkable. And so I've got this waiting list already from new friends in Japan, new friends in Ireland and the UK and the United States. So, what a journey. So, if this is your first time hearing me talk about quantum soul guidance, let me share my screen with you because I wanted to bring you to this free online calculator. In fact, this calculator started the whole thing. And thank you, Hector, who is one of Julia Balaz's students who created this site called galacticastrochart.com. So look at this site. Look at the beautiful logo, Galactic Astrology, uncover your connection to the stars. And right now, these are the main constellations that the calculator includes. I mean, eventually it'll keep growing. And I think there's now, from Ptolemy's time, 88 named constellations, but this calculator includes this many. Okay. And amongst these constellations, there's numerous fixed stars. But let me bring you here to the top. So if to do a free report, you click here. But if you want to learn the practitioners, let's say you just might be interested in a one-on-one reading. And our dear friend Julia, our teacher, is not giving personal readings anymore. Instead, she's training trainers. So, well, on the right of the screen, here's yours truly. And I give a little information about myself. And then recently, Sarah Davis and Sherry Lynn Wheeler have also been added as practitioners. So if you scroll down this list, there have officially been 14 of us. And so it's really important to understand which country each of us are located in so you can understand the time frame in case you decide to get a personal reading in person, or as many of these practitioners are doing, are just offering specific reports. Okay, let me stop sharing there for a minute. So, it's fascinating. I just take a little breath, and the demand and the calling for understanding our own soul's journey through the galaxies is huge. I had no idea. And this is why Julia is encouraging so many in the class. The class is now over 170 people. It just launched in February, but here we are, global classroom, and it's like a living library because as new people join, we've got like Google Docs set up to start sharing material with one another. It's quite Aquarian. So it's not static learning where here's the information, now download it and repeat out. It's not that at all. It's very Aquarian. We're working together, we're talking, we're meeting. There's smaller groups forming, little pods. So as we move from the Piscean era into this new age of light for Aquarius, our social networks are huge. But here's where the demand seems to be so strong, understanding our galactic origins. Where am I from on a soul level? If I find that out, sometimes it helps understand and explain why things showed up for me the way they did in this lifetime. So the narrative is, especially if you read the books by Lissa Royal Holt, the narrative is, if you don't learn the lesson to be learned in Lyra, it kind of just travels with you. Then you go to Andromeda and you still haven't learned it, so it travels with you. Oh, now I'm in Draco. Oh, well, have I really learned it? Not yet, not fully. So here I am now on Earth. So that's how the narrative goes. But for me, the real strength of this galactic astrology truly is an understanding the gifts and the karmic lessons we're each here to kind of, okay, check the box. That lesson's done. Finished. Thank you very much. And also to help inspire younger people who are also looking for, why specifically am I here? Why is it so dark all around? Why is the darkness continuing to grow? For me, the narrative around the galactic stories helps answer that. This idea, I'll just call out the Orion constellation. This is where the lightest light and the darkest dark met. And, that almost like Star Wars kind of intensity. And then why? Why was it like that? Well, from a soul level, we make these pre-agreements before we incarnate wherever we go in the galaxy or multiverses to expand. Expansion is that uncomfortable feeling sometimes, like the seed pushing through the ground in order to grow and flower. It's not like an easy, here I am, I'm already the flower. There's a process, an evolutionary process to all of this. Well, on that note, talking about evolutionary, let me share a little bit about how I move forward with some of my readings. Okay, so here we are. This is an example of, I'll just give you the first couple of pages of how I like to put together the deep dive, moving deeper into the galactic soul records. So how fancy can it be? Here's page 1. And then offering an overview. When you choose a deep dive, let's look at your galactic soul connections journey and the Western astrology. So I know some of us may be brand new to understanding astrology, and it's like, I don't understand. You guys are all talking. I see the words, but I have no idea what this language is about. So in a deep dive, what I like to do is just very basically help explain the journey and look for those common motifs and stories and narratives and see if it rings true for you in this lifetime or not. Okay, so then after going through the soul connections, looking at within those soul connections, what's your origin? Like, where did you come from in the stars when your soul first came into this system? Where'd you begin? And that's where we look at the distant planets like Neptune, Pluto, just to see like the furthest from Earth, oftentimes is where we look for origin. Now, your most recent lifetime can be anywhere in the system. So we look at the most recent lifetime because that energy may still be in your third dimensional, this incarnation, this being. So sometimes that energy is much more familiar, but your origin, where you are from, your family, this is something that will oftentimes come back as a motif that is like the common denominator that pulls things together. And then, of course, in a deep dive, your gifts. What are your gifts? Now, I remember being 18, 19. I was so excited going to college, and I just loved art. So I knew somehow in me that I was going to do something with art. I didn't know what. Being an artist, I just, I didn't think that that was going to happen for me. But if someone had looked at my galactic soul records and saw this predisposition for wanting to communicate through media, and it's not specific to painting, but it's a strong desire to communicate. And you choose which tea leaves you want to use for communication, whether it's radio broadcasting or pottery or painting or music or poetry. That would have been helpful, but here I am now learning. Next is looking at life lessons. So many of us wonder, gosh, why has it been so dark? Why has it been so rough? And it's still rough. So what is going on? When the conscious mind understands, here's potentially the lesson. When it sees it and gets it clear, like, okay, it's written down, I see it. And when it shows back up again, if it shows up again, that particular karmic lesson, like, let me give you an example. One lesson could be as simple as loving yourself. You're like, yeah, but shouldn't it be something deeper? No, sometimes it's let's get back to, do you love yourself? Another karmic lesson could be learning how to be independent in the world. Oh, but I don't want to learn that. I would rather just start a family, have my social friend groups, and rely on other people, in the community. We'll all work together. No, but what if this lesson is about you navigating on your own independently? So it would be nice to know what those lessons are. So this is how I like to rock with a deeper dive. Um, Let me see if there's one more picture to share. Here we go. This is a good one to end with. All right. When we look at the Western astrology and the galactic and bringing in the stars to the planets, and we pull it together as a broader tapestry of you, we need the birth time, place, and um, and date, because that's the snapshot of the moment that you were born. So being a painter, I've been trained to do like portraiture or figurative. So, but this is all about the form, the exterior. What a cosmic self-portrait does is it goes into the psychological. It goes into the, I feel something, I'm not sure what that is. So it's that psychological and sometimes even emotional motifs that at the moment of your birth, it's like you got graced with this, here's the gifts to help you work with the challenge, and knowing like, who's my star family? So when things do get rough and rocky, as they always do at some point, who's there to call upon to help? And how can I ask them for help? But that natal astrology chart, it really does look at portraiture. It's you, your beautiful soul, coming back again to play this game in third dimension, in 3D, of forgetting your fuller magnificence and trying to learn through expansion. Okay, so I know sometimes you might look around and say, well, how come their life is so easy? They don't have to worry about bills to pay. Or how come their life is so easy? They don't have any health issues. Or how come that family is like picture perfect children and mine aren't? It's those kinds of, what was the setup? And so this is how we play with narrative and trying to pull back the onion. Of course, it's for you to decide what you want to pick up and what you want to leave behind. Let me stop sharing for a moment. So that's what gets me excited, is really learning, is there something here in these, let's say, 10 aspects that we find and uncover, even if there's just one gem, just one gem. This is why, this is how, this is who I am. It, for me, makes it all worth it. Anyway, I would encourage you, if you're interested in any of this type of galactic plus regular astrology, there's now 14 certified practitioners. Find the one that's energy, whose energy matches yours, and consider gifting yourself a little something. Now, I personally also offer a basic reading, and that's good. And sometimes just putting a toe in the water to see, okay, where am I from? Who's my star family? And what was my most recent lifetime? It doesn't go much more beyond that, because that's a lot of information already. Again, just knowing your star family and the best times to meditate with, let's say, your family of origin. Well, I'm just saying, for me, that's my cup of tea. If you want to drink, check out the Quantum Soul Guidance Practitioners on Julia Balaz's website at galacticastrochart.com. Okay, I'm unabashedly excited and passionate about this, if you couldn't tell. So next time, we'll see you again on the Ascension Playground. Put in the chat box if you have any questions. Thanks.